Okay, so here I am in Minitab. I want to compute the first part of that question for the school with 120 students. So let's get everything into Minitab. We're going to use graph, probability distribution plot, the way we've always been doing our computations for the normal distribution. View probability is what we've always been using. Okay, I have normal distribution. My mean was 88. That was the average student score. And my standard deviation I found to be 1.7345. 1.7345. So remember, the standard deviation for a single student score was 19. So like, there are students who got well over 88, students that got well under 88, but when you're averaging 120 students, you're going to have some highs and some lows. And so the average shouldn't vary that much from 88. Okay, so our standard deviation is much smaller. Instead of 19, it's now 1.7 because we're doing an average of a bigger sample. So we flip over a shaded area. The first question said, what is the probability that the average is over 90 points? So we're trying to find a probability. We don't know the probability, we know the X value. We're going to use a right tail because we want over a certain line, and the line we want over is 90. So what is the probability that we're over 90? I think I have everything plugged in there. We'll hit OK. So we get our bell curve. Over 90 is 0.1244. 0.1244 is my answer. Okay, so there's a 12% chance, 12.5% chance that this school basically gets lucky and their students that year have a high average. I mean, 2% above the standard average isn't that big of a difference, but let's say that the school doing 90 or better is pretty high. So there's a 12% chance that the school comes out pretty high. I guess they just happen to have good students that year. The second part was 86 or lower. So same mean, same standard deviation because we're at the same school. We want 86 or lower. So 86 is our cutoff line. We want lower, so that's a left tail. See what we get there. Same number, and I did that intentionally. So 86 is 2 points under the mean. 90 is 2 points above the mean. The bell is symmetric, so 90 and above was the right tail, 86 and below is the left tail, and like at the exact same points on the bell, just the left and right side. So same answer for 86 and under. So if we say under 86 is kind of like a low score for that school, there was a 12.44 chance that they scored high and a 12.44 chance that they scored low. So they sort of have an equal chance of going high or low. Okay, so the third part was to try to find a range where 90%, there's a 90% chance that this school would land. So 86 to 90, there's like a 12% chance they're higher than that, and 12% chance they're lower than that. So that's like, there's like maybe like a 75% chance that they're between 86 and 90. So if we wanted a 90% chance, we need a wider range. So that 90% of the schools of this size would land in that range. 86 to 90 doesn't cover it. We needed to make that bigger so that there's only 10% outside of that range, 5 in each tail, not 12 in each tail. Okay, so this time I'm shooting for a particular probability, a particular percentage, and I know that I want 90% in the middle of the bell. That means there's 10% left to be split between the two tails. So I'll take the both tails option, which automatically sets it up as symmetric. And there's a 10% chance it's in the tails. So the way this is set up, you're supposed to put in the probability that you're in the tails, and then Minitab splits it evenly between the two tails. So 90% chance that we're in the middle, what the question said, 10% left for the tails, split evenly between the two tails. This time we know the probability. What we don't know are the cutoff scores to get that probability. Hit OK. All right, so there's a 5% chance we're under 85.15 for the school average, 5% chance we're over 90.85. That leaves 90% chance that we're between those two numbers. So that's the interval we're looking for, 85.15 up to 90.85. Okay. So yeah, so now I just want to redo everything for the 1,000 student school. So we'll do that in a separate video.